Hello, America and citizens around the globe. Welcome to the debate for the office of Global Ambassador of Romantic Entanglements. I'm Doug Rice, your debate moderator. We have our two final candidates tonight, each having already won his or her respective primary. So let's go ahead and introduce those candidates. Hailing originally from Sacramento, California, we have Kayah Franklin. And our other candidate tonight is originally from Portland, Oregon. His name's Zachary Holland. All right, so each of you will have a maximum of 60 seconds to answer these questions. So I'm going to start with a question that's going to be aimed at both of you, but I'm going to go to Kayah Franklin first. So you both know that there is some ambiguity between being on a first date and just kind of hanging out. So let's solve that ambiguity. What would each of you define as a first date? Kayah.
You know, I think it's very important that both parties agree upon a place to meet. I think neither person should be expected to pay the bill. I think, 50-50 is a great way to go. Also, when it comes to dating, who cares who asks who out? That freedom should be accessible to either party or any party that's involved in the dating. It's not always limited to two. That's my take on that.
Okay, thank you, Kayah. Now we'll go to your opponent, Zachary Holland. Same question, define a first date.
Well, clearly my opponent spends all her time reading dirty woman magazines. Look, there should be no dating. Get rid of the ambiguity. Get rid of whatever that is. We should be courting to marry. Done. Just court to marry. You find the person you're going to spend the next 60 years with, that you're going to have babies with, you're going to buy a house. Done. Get through all that stuff. Easy.
The next question. How does each of you view lying on your dating profile? We'll start with Zachary Holland this time. Lying on your dating profile. How do you view that?
Well, let me ask you this, America. You ever cheated a little bit on your taxes? Look, we all know the government is out there taking all our money. So if you cheat a little bit, take a little bit out of your taxes, it's okay to lie a little bit on your profile. Thank you.
Thank you, Zachary. Kayah, how are you doing up there? Feeling good?
I'm doing great, Doug. Thank you so much.
You look fantastic.
Thank you so much. Doug,
Yeah.
You're such a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Same question for you.
In terms of lying, before I even get into my personal opinions, because this is really not about just my own opinions, this is about the rest of you, the entire global network of daters. Must I remind you, I'd love to remind you, if you didn't already know, this is me reminding you that Zachary was caught completely lying about everything from his age, his height, to the fact that he continues to stalk other people's cats at nighttime, putting that all on his dating profile. So when it comes to lying, I believe in the global citizens in the dating network. None of you are like my opponent, so it's not really a problem to me, Doug.
Thank you, Kayah. That was an excellent.
We can take the next question.
Excellent answer. Okay, that's denied. That's denied. Your reclaim is denied.
Next
okay.
question, please.
Reclaim my time.
Next question, Doug.
Okay, this question again is going to start off with Mr. Zachary Holland. How do you view ghosting? Is ghosting something that should be done, or should it be prohibited?
I will stand by what I've always thought about ghosting. Ghosting is always appropriate when the other person is not attractive. It's okay to have a conversation with somebody who is not to your level of beauty. But if you cannot see yourself in a long-term marriage with that person based on their level of attractiveness, it's okay to ghost. Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, again, hold your comments, hold any reactions until both candidates are finished. Kayah, ghosting, should it be permitted or prohibited?
This is a real problem in this world. As a victim of ghosting myself, I think that people should be required to be straightforward and honest about what they want in any kind of situationship, any kind of entanglement. So as global ambassador, I would ensure that no one can lie and no one can leave anyone on red. Thank you.
Can I get you a tissue? Okay. Next question is regarding kind of an off-limits topic, but we have to bring it up because it's the real world, and that's STDs. So how do you view revealing whether or not you actually have an STD? We're going to start with Kayah this time. Kayah?
I would totally require people to disclose any status that they might hold on their dating profile, and also in being honest when being interviewed or being screened for potential dates. Number one truth teller right here.
Thank you. Zachary, as someone that has admitted that he has the clap, what is your opinion?
Well, as far as STD goes, I have many super technological devices. I don't like to disclose the fact that I have an Apple computer, that I have an iPhone 8, probably until later, because I don't want to be used for my money. What I do think is important is I think transparency is key. So I'm always very transparent that I have syphilis on a first date. But as far as technological things, I just don't want, I want them to love me for me and not my money. Thank you. Thank you.
So the latest report from the governmental agency says that waste, fraud, and abuse of online dating scams is in excess of $50 billion per year. How would each of you address the problem of waste, fraud, and abuse on online dating scams? We'll start off with Zachary Holland.
Simple. More regulation. I would abolish the entire industry so that nobody can be a victim to these harsh and unjust crimes.
Okay. Kayah, it's your turn, sweetie.
Thanks again, Doug. If you look at the statistics, 99.9999873.6%
You can't even count that.
of fraudulent activity through these dating apps and online situationships are funded by a very specific entity. If you do your Google research, my opponent has helped a lot of the people conducting these scams find their targets, find their victims. And as your global ambassador, I will ban him from the internet. The hurt and pain that these victims have gone through will no longer have to suffer because this guy, my opponent, won't be in the way.
She's right. He's in on it. She's right.
And I mean, do your Google searches, people.
Let me keep you up
information
there.
is out
Kayah,
there.
stay up there, please.
Yes, Doug. Yes.
Well,
Let me just give me 30 seconds. Just
Well-
give me 30 seconds. Give me 30 seconds.
hand him the mic. Hand him the
Give
mic.
me 30 seconds.
I'll give you 30 seconds.
Sit down.
29,
Sit down.
28, 27.
Say please.
Isn't it funny how you were for this before you were against it? Miss Flip Flop of America, right here. Thank you.
This next question actually is one that came through one of our social media platforms, and it is addressed to Kayah. Kayah? This is from Emily S. She is over in Terre Haute, Indiana, and she says, "Hi, Kayah. You're totally my fave." Emoji smiley face. Your opponent is clearly sexist and misogynist. How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel?
Thank you so much, Emily. You know, as a representative of all of the women and people who are not Zachary, I appreciate your compliments. I appreciate your encouragement. And I strive to be an example to the Emilys of this world. So again, that's why I'm running for a global ambassador of romantic entanglements. Thank you for your endorsement. Don't forget to show up at the polls February 30th. I'm your girl.
Thank you, Kayah. That was excellent. If I was scoring that, it would be a 10
Hey,
out of 10.
I got a question. How does it feel to be so biased?
I have no idea what you're
Just a
talking
quick
about.
question. I just want to, how do you sleep at
I'm an
night knowing
impartial media member. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay,
this is ridiculous?
Zachary, go ahead and
Yeah,
stay up there.
I'd love to talk about how I'm so intelligent and handsome and sophisticated.
I have no idea what
please.
you're talking about. You're on record as saying that filters are a creation of Satan and should be banned in the United States. What do you mean by that?
Well, it's simple. We know that Satan is the biggest deceiver, not only in this room, but in this world. And my opponent here, she's just one big giant filter. Okay? So why is it morally right to go out and filter how we look? Isn't that deceitful? Isn't that lying? Isn't that lying? I would also ban filters. Thank you.
Okay, so we have another question that came in through social media, and it's from a Zachary H. Coincidence, I guess. You referred to Kayah as needy, codependent, and not capable of making decisions of her own. Explain. That's for you, Zachary.
Okay, look, this is just another example of the media twisting what I said. I did not say that. What I said, let me clarify. I didn't say she was needy or codependent. What I said was she is not capable of making a decision without the help of a man. That's what I said. I did not say needy, none of those things. I'm sick of the lies, okay? Thank you.
Kayah Franklin, why are men so awful?
One of the most important questions. Why are men so awful? You know, Doug and the rest of the audience across the globe, I believe that men aren't, in their true nature, the most evil creatures that walk this planet. I believe that there's an entire population that tries to emulate my opponent. And for that reason, an entire generation is crafting themselves to be bad people. People like Zachary.
Oh, really?
And as global ambassador, I will make sure that no one stands over me in making sure that the Zacharys of this world continue to exist.
And I'll make sure when I'm global ambassador that you can't do anything like that.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next question, actually, it says here, Zachary, this is from your ex-wife. You have like 4 of them, I think, but one of them said that she released a video of you eating dead skin off of your foot. How is this setting a good example for the children and future daters?
Okay, look, I have addressed this numerous times, okay? And I'm going to say what I've always said, all right? My body, my choice. My body, my choice.
Okay, Kayah, there was recently a long article written about you in the New York Times. It described you as being smart, intelligent, strong, eloquent, beautiful. Are you concerned that this is setting the bar too high for the young girls that strive to be just like you one day?
I am smart, and the rest of the globe can be too, by voting for me. I am eloquent. The rest of the world can demonstrate that same eloquence by showing up to the polls and voting for me. I am beautiful, funny, charming. The rest of the world can rise up to that same level.
I throw in amazing, by the way. Amazing.
And amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
I believe that that is the standard. And I believe the entire world can come to that standard by showing up to the polls on February 30th and exercising your right to vote for someone to lead you in all of your entanglements. Vote for me. Please.
All right, so I'm going to ask each of the candidates to name a public figure or a pop culture icon who you identify with, you connect with, that could help influence your decisions as you move forward in the position of global ambassador? Kayah.
I'll start by making a direct statement to my opponent. You know you can't mess with me if you wanted to. These are red bottoms. These are bloody shoes. And the blood on these shoes is the blood of all of those evil daters leading women and men alike into bad entanglements. Do you know who that quote was from? One of my friends, another influential woman in this world, Cardi B. That's who I relate to. Oh.
Cardi B. I'm friends with Cardi B. I know Cardi B. I've sang with Cardi B. I've twerked with Cardi B. And you, Kayah, are no Cardi B.
There's recently been a lot of news about TikTok, a very popular video social media platform, being on the chopping block, possibly being prohibited in the United States. How does social media play a part in your platform and reaching your advocates? Kayah.
Social media is the foundation that we live on to connect with people, okay? We must progress with the times. Who cares about the little kids that got caught up on these old versions of social media? We are in 2020, people. And as your global ambassador, I will lead the way into progression and better romantic entanglements. Thank you.
Zachary?
The things that my opponent has advocated for are hurtful to a lot of people. You have proposed getting rid of all kinds of important platforms like MySpace, AOL Instant Messenger, Napster, Vine, Nihente, Black Planet. Let me tell you a story. There was a little boy who would use those platforms to make friends, to show his talent, to gain followers, to gain acceptance into this world. And that little boy was me. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Can we get him a tissue?
We're out of tissues. We're coming to the conclusion of our debate tonight. So what we have left is the closing arguments from each of our two candidates. We'll start with Zachary Holland. Your closing argument, please. You have 30 seconds or less.
Relationships, romance, first dates, straight people, gay people, black people, brown people, white people, yellow people, 9/11, taxes, Desert Storm, man, woman, trans people, equality for all. Thank you.
Okay, closing arguments, 30 seconds or less from Kayah Franklin.
My opponent doesn't wash his hands after he pees. Do you want someone like that leading you in 2020? I'm Kayah Franklin. Good night.
And that concludes our debate tonight for Global Ambassador for Romantic Entanglements. Good night, America, and citizens around the globe. Don't forget to go to the polls and vote.